Paul, tell us about your background really quick.
Sure. Started out in this industry as an advisor in the early 80s with a company called EF Hutton, which is no longer here. It got bought by a company called Shearson, which got bought by a company called Smith Barney, which got bought by a company called Morgan Stanley. I went to work at all those folks, eventually transitioned into home office. And when the business was sold to Morgan Stanley, became the vice chairman for wealth at Morgan Stanley. Ultimately, really got enthralled by the idea of the independent space and what could possibly be done there. Spent a year in between Morgan Stanley and what ended up being UBS. I worked there and was responsible for all of the products and services, which is what I've been doing for these large global banks. That said, after almost 40 years in the business, it has become clear to me, and I think it's many of your listeners would agree, that the independent space is the most dynamic space. I think it is the best space in that I view and believe that what's best for clients and advisors is done better in the independent space and better in the independent RIA space, to be more specific. Anyways, I'm started my own company, and we're looking to support and help advisors grow their business and invest in their business along the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it sounds like you have a lot of experience in the industry, 35, 40 years, right? Now, looking at the future, next 10 years, what does the industry look like regarding RIAs versus wirehouses?
I think it's dramatically different than it is today. There are 630,000 registered reps in the broker-dealer business. There are 60,000 reps in the RIA business. There are only about 5,000 firms total, and of those firms are about 60,000 reps. I believe that in the next 10 years, that the numbers will come close to parity. And I believe that because of the technology that is now available, the capital that is now available, the regulatory changes and that support this. And truthfully, because independent advisors can have their own thing, they can have their cake and eat it too.